My friends, Jacob is here once again. Thank you for joining me, for pressing that little play button and doing all that you do. I'm so excited to tell you about the number 666. Oh, good grief, what a spooky number. I've done many videos on this, the mark of the beast and the number of the beast and all of that stuff. Today, it's going to be revealed in a new way. A new way, a way that no one has seen before. A way that maybe nobody has heard before, a way that is being expressed everywhere we look in the world. Seems like that number's popping up again and again and again and again. It's very interesting stuff. It's quite profound. We're going to get into something pretty deep, so I hope you're buckled up. Yeah, 666. You hear that number and you think about the devil, right? But it's not the number of the devil. No. It's the number of man. That's right, the number of a man. Sixth day, God made man on the sixth day. But this number expresses the Antichrist and who the Antichrist is, and we must use wisdom to understand this. Well, today you see that number popping up pretty much everywhere. Hey, remember a little while ago? All right, this is gonna be a little freaky. Okay, that's if you're new to the channel, get used to it. Get used to stuff making you feel all goosebumpy all over and get you excited about the days to come, right? And I'm not talking like worrying about some kind of massive tsunami that's gonna hit the East Coast. Talk about that because I live out here in Long Island and it's we don't want to think about these things. Yesterday I just go to my phone and everybody's telling me about the little landslide, the little cliff that fell. I was praying about this earlier, and I know that this has nothing to do with the 666, but it does have to do with the day that we find ourselves in. La Palma, as I said, we're in the palm of God's hand. We got all these volcanoes going off, one after the other, so much so that one of you even reached out to me and I guess shared a video of somebody, I don't know, I think it was Israeli News Live or something, and he was calling it like the fires of Mordor, and I said, are you telling me that because I talked about the Eye of Sauron and Mount Doom and how we need to come together as a fellowship and bring the ring and destroy it into the volcano, that was, sort of spiritually telling us that there were going to be a lot of volcanoes going off, and I don't know, that's not what I was thinking. Wasn't thinking that at all, but of course everybody has said that this is a bad thing, that it could cause some kind of tsunami. If you don't know about the volcano that's going off, it's like nonstop. They got live feeds. Take a look. This thing's going nonstop. It's very interesting. It's very interesting to me. It's a little nerve-wracking because I've been telling Danielle, it's like, we got to get a place in the mountains, right? We got to get a place in the mountains. Which leads me to, I'm going to be talking about Sodom and Gomorrah in a little while. I don't know if you saw. If you don't follow me on Twitter, you should. There's links below and on Telegram, so you get notified. And I have a website, jacobisrael.com. It's totally free. A lot of essays, a lot of stuff. All the links to everything right below me. Just click right down there. See, it says a description of the video. Everything's there. Sign up. Or do whatever you're supposed to do, and let's be friends. Because I like to share things. encouraging things. And I just shared yesterday, I was gonna tape this show yesterday, but I felt the desire to sit down and write an entire essay. It took all day on Sodom and Gomorrah. It's at my website. I'll link it below. You should check it out because it's very eye-opening. We're going to get into a little bit of that today, but once again, Sodom and Gomorrah, right? Because they're like, flee to the mountains or you're going to be destroyed. That's kind of like the message Noah was given, as in the days of Noah. These are the days that we're in. These are the days that we're in today. Everybody's so, just grumpy and goofy. And scammers. There's a scammer that goes on and in comments has a picture of me, and even, it looks like it's coming from me. It's not me. It happens to a lot of people. Every time that this whoever this meathead is shows up, we report them. Obviously, I'm not going to be asking for money. I ask you to share the channel around. I ask you to like and comment. That stuff helps me. That stuff helps me. I don't know if you want to get the merch. By the way, I am a witness. It's a cool jacket. This is a hoodie. I robbed this from Noah because he was wearing it, and I said, I gotta wear that today. Give me that. So I put it on. I like it, but it's getting a little hot. So, all right, throw in the description of the video, if you want. All the stuff's there. But it's good to connect because I shared things, and I shared this essay. And you're gonna see how it all ties in. But La Palma, the volcano, people are worried. It's like a judgment of God. Is it going to happen? And I'm like thinking as I'm in the shower and I'm praying and I'm going, oh Lord, because that the scriptures say very clearly that if you have faith, very small amount of faith, the size of a mustard seed or a mustard seed, if you have faith of this mustard seed, you believe a little teeny bit, that you could say to this mountain over there, be cast into the sea. And a lot of people are doing that unknowingly. And I want you all to stop. I want you all to stop. Stop saying there's going to be a tsunami. Stop saying, please, because I can't go anywhere. I've tried. I keep asking Danielle. I'm like, we got to get to the mountains. Got to get to the mountains. You wonder why the world would be going through all this nonsense. A lot of people say that the government's behind it. I don't know. I don't know. But what I do know is that people are pretty corrupt today. And it is like the days of Noah. And so I can understand why things like this might happen. It's to bring all of you back into the loop, getting back on the bus to righteousness and peace and joy and faith and hope. And we need it today because everybody's following after that 666, which, by the way, that number is found in Revelation. It's also found in, one of the books of Kings. Solomon, he did what he wasn't really supposed to do. He was a very wealthy guy. He was very wise. Wisdom. Here's wisdom, right? There's the connection. I don't know if you've ever heard this before, seen this before, but Solomon was given 666 talents of gold. It's a lot of money. Perhaps that's the sin, the deceitfulness of riches, the cares of the world. These are the thorns of the flesh that even Paul suffered from. In this niche world of this niche world of YouTube we're in, when you see that number 666, all the celebrities, they throw the signs up. I'm not even going to do it because if I do it, someone will snap a picture and say, look, Jacob's making... I talk with my hands a lot. I'm Italian. I'm Italian and Irish. I talk a lot with my hands. I'm making no gestures. But that they like to pose with the pictures and do all the 666 and the Illuminati eyes. The one... I just sent KJ, scariest movie ever. He's awesome. I just sent him a picture of Greta Thunberg. There's this new magazine just came out, and it was showcasing a picture of her, and she looks like she's got like this black goo covering up her eye and dripping down her face. Spooky.
No planet B. There is no planet blah. Blah, blah, blah. Blah, blah, blah. This is not about some expensive, politically correct green act of bunny hugging or blah, blah, blah. Build back better. Blah, blah, blah. Green economy. Blah, blah, blah. Net zero by 2050. Blah, blah, blah. Net zero. Blah, blah, blah.
But yeah, all the symbolism, all the spooky stuff, right? 666 everywhere you go. But it's in other places too. All right? Like, did you know Texas the big thing with the news, with the laws for about the, the baby things, all that stuff. I got to talk in code, guys. It's gals. I got to talk in code because of sometimes things get flagged. But with the baby issue with the 6 weeks. Think that you have to do it up to 6 weeks. You get that number. So that was in a batch of laws that were put through, and there were 666 of them in Texas. That's eerie. Six is everywhere in the news. Yeah, even just yesterday I saw. The former FDA commissioner in Forbes magazine was saying that the 6-foot rule, totally arbitrary, made up, doesn't even know, they don't even know that they were debating between 6 and 10 feet and they just landed on 6. I wonder why. That number, huh? Symbolic. The number of man, the number of man's ego. The beast. Speaking of the number of the beast, Big Turbo turns the Audi RS3 into a 666 horsepower supercar. That's a fast one. Not to mention, by the way, GM is releasing 666 horsepower electric cars too. Hey, guess who Kanye? Kanye. You want to talk about poster child of the 666, even though he's all about the Jesus stuff. Supposedly, we've done videos on this. If you haven't seen it, the Kanye video's doing very well, by the way. Doing very well. A lot of people are watching it. The symbolism of it. We talked on prior shows about these two Jesuses, these two Yoshuas, if you like that name. These two people that were offered, these two ideas of what a savior could be. And they had Jesus, of Nazareth. One is separated, the Nazarite one separated from the world. And then you had Jesus Barabbas, son of the rabbi or son of the father, not son of God. And people wanted the Barabbas because he was a murderer, he was a killer, he was against the system. He'd be like today on your YouTube searches, you go around, you look at these, we'll say biblical or Christian YouTubers that are pretty big, and they're like, we're going to pick up the arms, we're going to do bad stuff, we're going to, let's fight. That would be Barabbas. That would be the different Jesus. That could be the one that, Kanye is serving with his, spooky, wearing a mask all the time, and his wife. It's just very strange, all of it. But he's now estimated to have $6.6 billion to an Adidas deal. Adidas, sneakers. Speaking of sneakers, remember we did a program about Lil Nas X? Lil Nas X, he did the Montero video where he gave a lap dance to Satan. It's comical. He released sneakers shortly after that. 606 of them with a drop of human blood. Gross, I know. Made a lot of money off it. Caused quite a controversy. He got a lot of play. I did a show on it. Everybody did a show on it. One because everybody's going to condemn him. Well, he's got a new deal with Jean Paul Gaultier. As my wife Dan, we go out. We're looking for new fragrances, and I bought. The guy came up to me, sprayed it on me. He's like, "Hey, smell this. This is freaking awesome. It's amazing. You're gonna smell great." And I was like, "Wow, this is pretty delicious." And Danielle's like, "Yeah, you should treat yourself, get it." And it was like this thing, and it came in a bottle, it looked like a person, Jean Paul Gaultier. And she's like, "Yeah, get it, it's Jean Paul Gaultier." or Gautier. I was like, it's Gautier. Get a little culture, Dan. And then she hit me. Well, Lil Nas entered a partnership. Former pop stars now collaborating with John Paul Gaultier on a limited edition design, long sleeve mesh top, which has him, you know, surrounded by a bunch of like flying devils. It's this. How many are they going to release of this limited edition? Take a wild guess. Yeah, that's right, 666. Number 6, I tell you, a lot of people still talking about what happened, you know, in the Hunger Games at the Capitol. Remember I did a video about the inauguration, looked like the Hunger Games? If you haven't seen that video, you got to check out that video. I'm going to link it right here, or if I don't link it, just look it up. It's Hunger Games. But on January 6th, that number, right there, number. You know what's ironic? A year earlier, like 10 months earlier exactly, on March 6th, on the steps of that Capitol, they're like the Satanic Temple did a ceremony, like did a ceremony on the steps of the Capitol, like a year before, on the 6th. Yeah, I mean, wouldn't God want to visit the folly of these people? The folly of these people. I talked about that in the essay about Sodom and Gomorrah. It's almost like, you know, the dog returning to its vomit. That's basically the picture of. Okay, let me tell you the story because you probably don't know the story. So there's this guy. His name's Lot, and he lives on like the outskirts of two really wicked cities. So imagine, you know, you got two big cities that are close to each other relatively. He lives like on the outskirts of it, close enough to be able to go into one or the other. Sodom and Gomorrah. Both names, remember I talked to you about names and how names have meaning, how important it is, like Joseph, Mary, and Jesus. Joseph means God is added. Mary means man's rebellion. Jesus, Yahshua, means God is salvation, so God is added to man's rebellion, salvation, and he was a Nazarite separate. So the words have meaning. So when you look at the word Sodom, it means burning, which is interesting because fire is a big deal, like God destroys things with fire, but burning is also very symbolic of lusts, that burning desire in your heart, sin. Then you got submersion. That's Gomorrah, burning submersion. Water over here, the flood, right? And fire. In Scripture, the flood of lies, flood of ungodly men. David prayed to be delivered from the flood of ungodly thinking, ungodly lusts, ungodly lies. Two wicked cities. Lot stands on the veil of it. Because remember, everything in the Scriptures, it literally happened, sure, but it happens so that we can learn the spiritual significance of it. Lot stands at the gate. It's kind of like we're all standing at the gate. We're right there. We got the choice. We got the lust right there. And we dip into it, and we dip into the lies and the fear and all that stuff. We do. So did Lot, right on the gate. You know what Lot means? It means covering, veil. Remember the veil? The veil is what keeps people from going into the temple. This is Revelation, people. Get ready. The veil had cherubim woven into it. So you had this place in the temple, and they had this place called the Holiest of Holies where God was, and only the high priest could go in there. But there was a veil that kind of kept everybody out, kind of kept everybody from the truth of God. We find out in Scripture that when Christ died, that veil was torn. It was opened. It was given to all of us. Lot is a veil. Lot is a covering. What did God cover us with? Flesh. The works of the flesh is always going to be at enmity with the Spirit. The idea of you, who you think you are, is not real. It's like almost imaginary, but you believe yourself to be that. And then you follow after everything that was formed. But then that day comes when that man has to die so that the new man can be born again out of that ignorance. Ironically, in the veil were cherubim, woven into the fabric, the very fabric of the thing that keeps you from knowing the truth of God. Cherubim. You know what a cherubim is? It's an imaginary creature. That's revelation. The idea of you keeps you out of union with God that is within you. And because of that, because you don't know the truth, you're going to be like Lot. You're going to dip into the two wicked cities until the day comes when the cries of the people are heard and everybody's, like, oh, it's so scary and so bad right now, and it really is. I don't want it to get worse. He hears the cries of his people, and he comes, and he delivers them. How does he deliver them? By getting rid of the two things that are causing them the most torment. So Lot's this guy with his family. He was Abraham's nephew, not his son, but a nephew, like a son. Abraham actually prayed because he knew before all that God was going to destroy. He was like, Lord, if there's like 50 people in the city, will you spare it? He's like, okay, I will. If there are 20 people that serve you, God, will you spare it? Okay, I will. If there are 10, it's like, and then he stops. God's going to destroy the wicked people because you can't have righteousness and wickedness, And I'm not saying they're not literal cities, but let's understand the deeper meaning. These are the two cities that we dwell on the outskirts of: burning, submersion, water, fire. Two things that destroy, the very truth of God. So to have these wicked cities overthrown, what has to happen is Lot has to be taken away. The veil has to be taken away. The veil needs to be removed. The idea of you needs to be taken out of the picture so you can understand the Christ in you. So you can understand that you're more than you were told. Just because someone gave you that name and your experiences molded you into thinking that, I'll never have a good relationship, or, I can never get ahead. That doesn't mean it's true, but faith makes it possible. That's why that prayer, if you have faith, you can say to the mountain, be cast into the sea. And too many people on YouTube are talking about that happening in Obama. So stop. It is like the days of Noah, isn't it? People are really turned over to their lusts. Look at this nonsense where it's just openly blatant in your face. He's like, I'm doing 666 shirts with flying devils and I'm going to be half naked. And yeah, it's okay. It's good. It's all about the money. Solomon, 666 talents. Following after greed, lust, lasciviousness. That's a great word, lasciviousness. So God basically decides he's going to, he's out of respect to Abraham and his family, and also Lot. Well, Lot wasn't, I guess, a bad guy. He was a merchant. He says, I'm going to send, he sends a couple of angels. He sends a couple of angels Lot's way. And they show up and they're in the streets and Lot sees them and says, you got to come back. What are you doing in here? Right? It's kind of like, You're about to do something naughty, and all of a sudden you see the Bible, and you're like, whoa, 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 this can't be around this, right? I know I'm talking to some of you out there. But my point is, he brings that into his home. It's like a day comes when the truth of God is revealed to you, and you understand that, life can be better, that you can be happier, that you can be free, and you can love, and you can forgive. It doesn't mean life's going to be easy. It's going to be hard. But you do all these things because in our weakness, we're made strong through Christ. That's what true strength is. Enduring the hardship, enduring the fear, and not taking arms against your enemy, but allowing God to sort it out by sorting out your heart first. So what he does is he takes the veil away. So Lot's on the city. All of a sudden these angels come. These angels show up. He brings them into their home. And as soon as they come in, so as soon as you have, the angels of God, and the word angel, evangelist, it means messenger, okay? It means messenger. It's like, I could be a messenger. It's a witness of God, right? I am witnesses. Remember the jacket I was wearing? We're all witnesses. Jesus says, I'll make you my witnesses. That's what an angel is. It's a messenger who brings a message, and the message comes to Lot, and it's received in Lot's home. It's received in who we think we are, and we take it inside. And then what happens is the world comes a knocking. Wants to put it out, wants to put that fire out, wants to put that truth out, wants to put that love out, that hope out. Comes a knocking. And it's like, give it to me. And Lot's like, no, you can't take these men, because he knows they're of God. It's kind of like with us. It's like, no, you can't take my joy. You can't take my peace. You can't. I'll tell you what I will give you. I'll give you my daughters. And a lot of people, talk about this as some kind of a horrible, terrible thing. And I don't know, maybe that happened. Some people even say, oh, they weren't interested in girls. Okay, well, whatever. But there's this deeper spiritual meaning. Because it was the daughters he created without knowing God. In the world, daughters in Scripture many times are symbolic of companies or ideas. The daughters of Zion, right? Or the daughters of Babylon. Basically, when the world comes a knocking, and they want to take what you have, and you're not going to give it to them because you know that they'll tear it up. You know that terrible, vile people aren't going to understand the things of God. So you give them what you created in the world instead. And these angels, okay? So what happens is they come and knocking. They want to know. They want to know the angels. So everybody's like, oh, that's why I did the essay, because Daily Beast does this thing about, hey, there was this discovery, and it lends credibility to the literal story of Sodom and Gomorrah about the meteor coming down and everything else. And people even sent this to me, and I knew about it, and I thought it was interesting because I was already thinking about Sodom and Gomorrah, and I was already thinking about this stuff. But the Daily Beast said, let's not talk about that. Forget the meteor. Let's talk about biblical rape culture, because he thinks that that's what that whole story is all about. God forbid it isn't. That word know in Hebrew doesn't mean know as in the carnal sense. The literal translation means to know, to perceive, to comprehend. These vile, wicked people that seek to harm us, they harm us because there's something we know that they don't know. There's something about us that just drives them a little upset. It gets them a little upset, a little bit jealous of the old Jacob. He's always so successful. He does so good. Let's just mess with his schedule some. Yeah, he's always so clean, and he's so responsible. Let's move him to a place that's not so clean. Let's make him drive an extra hour because he's doing so good and he's so close to his home. They don't understand what it is. So they're like, if you don't let us know what it is, we're gonna destroy you even worse. Problem is, these people of Sodom and Gomorrah, these people that are rooted in the lust of the world and the lies of the world, they'll never understand. Look at the way people are attacking each other. Look at the way people are saying things that don't even make sense. Look at the way people are saying some people shouldn't get medical treatment if they're not going to get a medical procedure. Look at the way people have become. Sodom and Gomorrah. These people can't understand the things of God. So what happens is the message of God blinds them. So they can't come after us anymore. Can't come after us. And the Lord says, okay, time to leave your job. Don't be scared anymore. Time to leave your job, which is where I am. Now I'm here doing this program that I probably wouldn't have done if I didn't step out in faith. People in the world can't possibly understand the things of God. They are blinded to it. Paul, when he was Saul and he was persecuting those that had the way, the truth, the life, he was knocked flat out on his face and blinded. The revelation of God hit him so hard that he was blinded. He didn't know a thing. I need to learn everything all over again. And so he did. He was sent to the street called straight. He was set straight. As are we. As are we all today, being led. Being led. So the angels, right? The angels, they take Lot out. They take Lot out from the city. Got all the blind people of Sodom and Gomorrah bouncing around, bumping into each other, right? And then God sends from heaven. Now, once again, what's going to destroy a lie? The truth. Where's the truth come from? From the heavens. The lusts of the world, the deceitfulness of riches, the lies of the world, all these things, they're destroyed by what? Same things that they were dealing with. Fire and water. The truth of God is a purifying word. It's like a fire. That's why the witnesses of God, when they speak, fire comes out of their mouth, devours their enemies. Anybody comes against them, they speak the truths of God, and it makes them blind, and then they can't be hurt by their enemy anymore. God takes the enemies, my enemies, and he makes them blind, so they cannot hurt me anymore. And then he leads me to the path that is straight. But when God leads me, the question is, do I go where he's leading me to go? I've been making jokes with Danielle. We got to get to the mountains. We need a house in the mountain. But really, God's asking us to come to the mountain that is him. The mountain that is truth. The mountain that is joy. The mountain that is hope. The mountain of God. People didn't want to go to the mountain. When God asked them, they said, send Moses. Let Moses tell us. So Moses has to go through it all. That's not the way it works. Because when Moses came back down from the mountain with all this great news, he saw how wicked they were and he destroyed it. I'm not telling you nothing. You're blind, like the people of Sodom and Gomorrah. And this is the problem, is back then, if today, so much worse than even back then. Horrible things that are going on right now. The horrible things. Horrible things that those that are in charge are doing. Horrible things. And yet we have hope, because God will always send us an angel to give us the direction where we should go. So the angels come. They tell Lot, we got to go. Bring your family. Get them all together. Gather them all together. Lot's wife is a big story. So they start to go, right? And they're like, we're going to go to the mountain. You know what Lot says? You know what the flesh says? You know what our ego says? I don't want to go to God all the way. Because then what happens? Maybe I'll get canceled on YouTube if I say all these things. Right? I'll get shut down. Then what am I going to do, Lord? I don't want to go to the mountain. Why don't we go to this little place over here? Zoar. That's where Lot said he wanted to go. This little place. Small, little, insignificant place. Which ironically is exactly what Zoar means. Angel's like, God has delivered you this day. Go to the mountain. And Lot's like, you mind if I just stay over here? I don't need to really make a difference. Just want to go get drunk in a cave. Deal with my own nonsense thoughts. That's basically what happened. You don't hear much about Lot after that. Dwelling in a place of insignificance. I don't want to be insignificant. I want to do what the Lord wants me to do. I want to be a light in this world as Christ asked me to be. And I want you to do the same thing. I want you to understand that you may be at the gate right now of these two twin wicked cities. You may be at the gate of fear and worry and doubt, and you may be struggling. You may have issues with alcohol or drugs, and so many of you reach out to me, and it's just, I just want to hug you all, and I want to say you're worthy, you're good, you're okay. Where you're listening to me right now, we're here. We're here. We're breaking the Lord's Supper. This is what it's called, to break bread. Because Christ said, I am the bread. And what are we doing? We're talking about the wonderful works of God. Together, you're okay. But today is the day when you need to come out of that place. You can't make your home at that gate anymore. You got to trust God. You want to go dwell in a place of insignificance, that's fine. He'll take care of you. You'll be fine. You'll be okay. But you want to go off and you want to make a difference. You want to love people. You want to help people. You want to encourage people. You want to start your own YouTube channel and get people encouraged and lifted up. You want to do these things? Then go to the mountain. There's always more to the story than the literal understanding of it. The letter of the story can kill, but it's the spirit of the story that gives us life. Try not to get hung up on whether or not this literally happened or that. I believe they did. I believe it all did. It's not an issue for me. But how does it relate to my life today? Because the Lord is speaking today about Sodom and about Gomorrah. He's speaking today. And wouldn't it be great if you got out of the gate before God destroys it and it destroys you along with it? Now, before I go, because now I don't want to get you all bummed out. Before I go, I want to encourage you a little bit. The other night, Ethan and I, we were watching Noah, the Russell Crowe version. And, I was relating the movie to things that are happening in the world today and everything else. And Ethan was a little concerned. He was concerned about whether or not God is going to make a way. What about the good people? How many good people got sucked up in that flood, right? The flood, submersion. How many people got submerged in ungodly thinking? And I said, I'll tell you what, why don't we do this? Instead of asking Daddy, because I'm not the authority, right? I'm just an example to him. So why don't we ask God? And I grabbed my Bible. And some people ask me, why your Bible so new? Like as if I don't have old Bible. I got a ton of Bibles. Look at this. They're all broken. Come on. This one has bigger text so I can see. Don't be judging me because I have a new cool Bible. So this is what happens is I say, why don't we do something, E? Why don't you grab the Bible? I said, why don't you ask God? I said, Lord, ask him. I shared this on Twitter too. And listen to what he opened up to. Because the question is, are we going to be okay? Is God going to deliver us? That's the question. And this is what he opens up to. It's just so beautiful. Because he started right here. And listen to what it said. Because, it's me, right? I'm Jacob, right? So they say the Lord does not see. The God of Jacob doesn't take notice. They say. But take notice, you senseless people. Take notice. They say the God of Jacob's not real. The God of Jacob's real, okay? My God is real, okay? Very, very real. If you don't believe me, believe the works. They say the Lord does not see, the God of Jacob takes no notice. Take notice, you senseless ones among the people. You fools, when will you become wise? Does he that fashioned the ear not hear? Because Ethan was he was worried. He's like, is he gonna take care of us? He's gonna answer? He was like, first of all, stop worrying. Because Ethan has the tendency to be like his daddy. He worries about people. He worries about people that are poor and people that are hurting. He's got a beautiful heart. And I said, don't worry. God sees us, and he opens up to this. All right, I say, open up to what you want, He opens up to this. Does he who fashioned the ear not hear? And as I'm doing it, I'm telling him, I'm like, and I'm grabbing his ear. I'm like, he created your ear. Does he not hear? Does he who formed the eye not see? Does he who disciplines the nations not punish? Does he who teaches mankind lack knowledge? The Lord knows all of humans' plans. He knows that all of man's plans are futile. You can make a bunch of plans, people. But one day, those wicked cities are going to be overthrown in your life. Blessed is the one you discipline, Lord. Think about that. Every time that something came my way and I was knocked down and counted out, thank God for that. Thank God for losing everything. Thank God for being hospitalized. Thank God for being sick, for being abandoned, for being abused. Thank God for that. Thank God for suffering. Thank God for that, because it brought me to where I am now. The Lord knows human plans. He knows they're futile. Blessed is the one you discipline, Lord, the one you teach from your law. You grant them, listen to this, relief from their days of trouble, till a pit is dug for the wicked. For the Lord will not reject his people. Listen up, everybody. He will not forsake his inheritance. Judgment will again be founded on righteousness. You know how I'm always going on about things are going to get better. Christ's going to begin his reign. Judgment will be founded in righteousness. You're not going to have bad, corrupt judges saying, I'm sorry, you can't work there anymore. Even though you're a hero, we're going to overturn this. There will be righteous judgment, and on all the upright in heart will follow it. Who will rise for me against the wicked? God asks. Who will take a stand for me against the evildoers? Unless the Lord had given me help, I would soon have dealt in the silence of death. When I said my foot is slipping, your unfailing love, Lord, supported me. When my anxiety was great within me, your consolation brought me joy. You know, it's when you're going through those hard times, it's being reminded, like you'll have these little God reminders. God will remind you of his covenant he made with you, his promise. You're just being stubborn, and he's got to get you from one place to the other. Can a corrupt throne be allied with you, Lord? A throne that brings misery and its decrees. Can this beast system stand for much longer? No. The wicked band together against the righteous. They condemn the innocent to death, but the Lord has become my fortress, and my God, the rock in whom I take refuge. He will repay them for their sins and destroy them for their wickedness, because the Lord our God will destroy them. Now, it's just interesting, because here I'm thinking about Sodom and Gomorrah, and I'm about to talk about Sodom and Gomorrah, and it's about the destruction of the wickedness in men. Ethan's like, what about the good people? And I'm like, let's ask God. And then boom. This should be an encouragement to you. You don't need to take arms against the wicked. God knows. He formed your ear. You don't think he hears you? He formed your eye. You don't think God sees you? It's time to get out of the gate. It's time to move to that mountain. It's time to say, all right, Lord, teach me the truth no matter what the cost. I want to know. It's time. It's time. You might as well do it now, because I'm telling you, when the floods come, when the meteors come, when the war comes, whatever it is, you're going to be okay, because God is with you. And so am I. So do me a favor and subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. Click that bell for notifications. There's like a little bell. You click it. Take a moment to do it. It helps me. Otherwise, you'll forget about me. They won't remind you. Believe me, life gets in the way. Then you'll be like 3 months later, oh my goodness, Jacob, and you'll have missed all of this. Subscribe. Share the channel around. Help me. If you're in the live chat, thank you for everything that you've done. I don't know what you've done, but you're always so wonderful. Thank you. Thank you for liking. Thank you for commenting. Thank you for sharing. These are the things that help. And, you know, my novel, still available, still doing amazing. Thank you for the reviews. Thank you for those that are buying the... Let me get this out one more time. This is a really cool jacket. Thank you for the I Am a Witness. The t-shirts, to all that. Thank you for all of you that are doing these things. Thank you, because it's a help to me. It's a blessing to me. It's a blessing to my family. And, you know, these things that I do, like the novel, point of the story, it's actually, it's more relatable to you than you know. The lead character could be you. Could be you, after all. You'll find yourself in that novel. But it's there to get people. You know, the I Am a Witness, it's there to get people. So when people see it and they, well, what does that mean? And what are those numbers? So, well, it's 11:11. What does that come from? Revelation 11:11. God brings us to our feet after we've been dead in our sins. It's a good day. It's a good day. And I'm happy that you all took the time to watch this. So, hope you have the best day ever. I love you all, and I'll talk to you soon. Bye-bye.
Thanks for watching Jacob Israel. please hit that like button, leave a comment, subscribe, and share this channel around. If these shows have helped you, help Jacob to reach more any way you can, and have the best day ever.
Click it.